November 4, 1898, The Evening Argus, Owasso, Michigan. Some Queens Who Smoke. Women of title among inveterate devotees of the cigarette. As unexpected as a bolt from the blue came the sad tidings promulgated a few days ago in court circles at St. Petersburg that the gentle and gracious Tsarina would be greatly obliged to the ladies of her household if, for the future, they would forbear from smoking cigarettes in her presence. This unlooked-for intimation, reaching the Russian dames and demoiselles d'honneur from so exalted a quarter, was unavoidably accepted by them as a command, and they have summoned up courage to address a humble petition to Her Majesty, entreating her to revoke a request that is practically a decree. In this prayerful document, they have ventured to remind Alexandra Fyodorovna that the ladies are permitted to smoke cigarettes at all the continental courts, that among the august female votaries of the narcotic herb born in the purple are the Dowager Tsarina and her sister, the Princess Thyra, Duchess of Cumberland, as well as the Princess Henry of Prussia, born Princess Irene of Hesse and the Rhine, own sister of the reigning Empress of all the Russias. The petition also deferentially points out that Maria Cristina, Queen Regent of Spain, Carmen Silva, Queen of Romania, and the Queen of Portugal, as well as many Grand Duchesses, Archduchesses, and Princesses of the Blood, are inveterate smokers. To this category, moreover, belonged, though the Russian court ladies may not be aware of the fact, the lovely and intrepid former Queen of Naples, Marie von Wittelsbach, who took an active part in the defense of Gaeta, wearing the undress uniform of one of her husband's crack infantry regiments, and, especially when under fire, was rarely seen without a lighted cigar between her lips. Her younger sister, the Countess of Trani, was a no less habitual cigar smoker than she, and so was the Countess of Girgenti, by birth an Infanta of Spain. As for the society leaders and Grand Dames de Parlement in Russia, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, Spain, and even in the realm of Bretagne Grundy, their name is legion. In the Turkish harem, smoking is even more de rigueur than in the Salamek, for the wives and daughters of the well-to-do faithful have few recreations besides inhaling the fumes of yellow yenage or currant schiller, and nibbling what in the States is generally termed sweet truck, a designation impartially applied to candy, pralines, fondues, and rahat lakum. November 9, 1922, Dawson Daily News, Yukon Territory. Doctor suggests pipe for women smokers. London. Pipes instead of cigarettes for women were advocated by Dr. W.B. Colquhoun, famous Harley Street specialist, following an inquest over a London woman who died as a result of excessive smoking. Most women smoke cheap cigarettes which are easy to inhale, said Dr. Colquhoun. The result is they keep on smoking more and more. A pipe is free from the evils of the cigarette. Dr. E.C. Greenwood, another specialist, said, "It is a great pity that women do not smoke pipes instead of cigarettes. Pipes are healthier, as there is less inhalation, which is the cause of most trouble." December 1, 1897, Arizona Weekly Journal Minor, Prescott, Arizona. Dromedaries that smoke cigars. There is no reason why a dromedary should not be partial to a good cigar. Most dromedaries, according to a menagerie proprietor, are particularly fond of tobacco smoke and can be made to do almost anything under its influence. Travelers in Egypt, he asserts, rely more on tobacco smoke for their control over these huge beasts than anything else. When traveling on long journeys, the dromedaries are in many cases required to travel night and day without rest, and the beasts are kept up to their tasks by smoking cigars. The driver carries a triangular piece of wood, which is pierced at one point like a cigar holder. This is inserted in the mouth of the beast, the cigar being lit and pressed into the hole in the same fashion followed by man. The dromedary immediately closes its eyes and puffs away through its nostrils until the cigar is burned away. London answers. February 11, 1924. The Evening News, San Jose, California. Change. Eating tobacco sort of losing popularity. There are changing fashions in tobacco using, just as there are in women's dress, jazz songs, and autos, according to Cocky Ross, First Street tobacco dealer, and Frank Paslakwa of Becker's Cigar Store, who were asked about it today by the News. They disagreed slightly over the question of whether tobacco chewing is passing out, but agreed that the now extinct mechanical cigar cutter, so popular in tobacco stores 3 or 4 years ago, has gone the way of the common drinking cup and the roller towel of hallowed but unsightly memory. Chewing isn't so common among business and professional men as it used to be, said Paslakwa, but I think more working men, like mechanics, and others who are not allowed to smoke at work, are using chewing tobacco more, and that the demand is about the same as it used to be. Ross figured that there might be a slight falling off in chewing, but wasn't certain of it. Maybe there is just as much chewing among businessmen as there used to be, though, because many more of them dry smoke their cigars than used to, continued Paslakwa. Dry smoking a cigar is a term to describe the custom of pretending to smoke it but chewing the end in the mouth, and seems to be considered a more dignified way of observing an old habit. A customer who came into Rhodes' stand while this conversation on chewing tobacco was going on declared that chewing was going out among many of his acquaintances, and that he believed it was due to prohibition. Men who used to drink are now making up for it by eating candy and chewing gum, and the gum chewing is causing tobacco chewing to decline. No more scoops. The old days, about 40 years ago, when fine-cut chewing tobacco used to come in buckets and the dealer weighed it out in handsful in a scoop scale, are long gone. There isn't the call for fine-cut chewing tobacco there used to be, Ross declared. People are buying more plug tobacco instead. There is still quite a demand, though, for scrap tobacco, made from the leftovers in cigar making. Some smoke it and others chew it. Fine cut used to be chewed more by old men without any teeth, Paslakwa added. Maybe false teeth, or the fact that teeth are in better condition now, is the cause for the increase in plug chewing. As for the extinct mechanical cigar cutter, which followed the old wooden Indians into ancient history from the place of prominence they used to occupy in cigar stores, Ross declared that it passed out because it was unsanitary. A man would come into a store, buy a cigar, stick it in his mouth, find he couldn't bite the end off, and then stick it into the cigar cutter, Ross said. Then the next man would come and do the same thing, and disease was spread from one smoker to the next. Many cities now have ordinances prohibiting public cigar cutters. Most cigar smokers now carry their own cigar cutters on their watch chains. Tobacco dealers today carry many more brands of cigarettes, cigars, and chewing tobacco than they used to, Ross declared. But the chief sales today are cigarettes, of which 3 well-known varieties lead the field. February 11, 1924, The Evening News, San Jose, California. Crusty burglar takes Crustier pipe. Frank mad. He who steals my purse steals trash, but he who stole my pipe, well, he better bring it back if he values his hide. So spoke Frank Waterhouse, one of the usually genial deputies in the office of County Clerk Henry A. Pfister. Frank claims that while he was attending to his official duties as clerk of the court of Superior Judge J.R. Welch, someone stole his pet pipe, which was just getting what Frank says was a nice crust. He has sworn vengeance on the thief. His friends, however, stoutly maintain that Frank left his pipe outside somewhere at the request of his wife, and that buzzards swooped down and carried it away. 2 dead buzzards are alleged to have been found in the vicinity of West St. James Street.